Series is really in a dangerous territory for him. He needs to get this off to a good start. And I just want to say, even though it's k1llsen, who's one of the best in the world right now, if Vengeurr loses Awoken, that's a big deal. That's a really, really big deal. It doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter if it's Rafa. Doesn't matter, guys. Vengeurr is so dominant on that map. I
think you're probably right. Like, looking at that,
I'm definitely right.
You are. When are you wrong? Especially when it comes to Awoken, because
in my predictions,
that's got to be when he takes it. I reckon the Sorlag pick, you're going to come in all out, everything that you could ever desire, right? Sorlag on Awoken, he's going to be giving it. I reckon that'll be a good start into it. I do actually think this is going to be a 1-2 split in favour of k1llsen, but with Awoken going the way of Vengeurr.
You're saying the same as me. Okay, you're actually agreeing with
me. We've got a partnership.
Okay, I'm concerned for my predictions now. But I normally have someone, when someone else says it, then I have a higher chance of being right.
Yeah.
You kind of like, I like what you've done there.
We basically, it's like, it's the fusion dance.
Yes.
Yeah, so that actually would turn us into Jizuti, but what it's going to turn us into now is some excited viewers of this matchup. k1llsen versus Vengeurr.
Let's do that. We've got the Sorlag straight away. Items were taken pretty swiftly off of the spawn. Vengeurr does miss the one aspect of the trifecta, which is the lightning gun. But he certainly likes this position here, as we've got major items that are coming up shortly. Just manages to spot out where k1llsen is, and that tripole is just out of range, so Vengeurr shan't take any damage from that. Timidly approaching each other at this stage.
Vengeurr on the move around. Near miss from the rails that are getting shot towards him by k1llsen. He's going to start to just roam around the map and get the pickups that he wants. He has all three of the trifecta already in his inventory. The close rockets from either side are whizzing by, but there's been no real connection just yet. A good opening off the back of the spit, though, denies the area. He's trying to land the rails, but he just can't quite connect it, Zoo.
He's respecting the rail aim as well from k1llsen. One thing that Vengeurr's been guilty of quite a lot, I'd say, over the last 6 months, is just giving up too many rail angles to players who are so consistently good with that weapon. And that was just a really nice read from k1llsen. And watching his stream recently, just the level that he's playing at the moment is very scary. So I definitely feel like calling Vengeurr to win this map is still slightly risky, given what... Look at the rails that's being landed! I was just talking about how Vengeurr's got better at avoiding rails, but k1llsen is just making it up as he goes along. Unbelievable stuff from him.
Oh, Vengeurr expecting potentially a close-range predicament there. Thought there'd be some close quarters combat. Whipped out the shotty to try and leave him strapped down to the ground. Instead, it'll be a flick back to the rail. Denies it with a spit, but he goes straight into k1llsen's prime weaponry. The rail delivered execution there, as Vengeurr will fall in the opening pick. But that's 2 minutes in.
So one thing that Vengeurr talks about a lot is that this map with Sorlag is very good for her. When she goes off the spawn, she can be aggressive very quickly again. The thing is, to really justify that, he needs to make sure he has some kind of good damage going against k1llsen prior to falling. For one rail, k1llsen can't find the follow-up. That's because he's got no rails left. And that's slightly dangerous for him. He'll find some more ammunition here in Lightning Gun Room. That was maybe the one little hiccup there, letting Vengeurr just get a bit too much damage.
Oh, the top down. There's a good adjustment there on the flick, but the LG won't do enough damage to really force him back. k1llsen can take this mega whenever he wants as well. Times it nicely to slide on in. He is getting at least slapped about a little bit by the firepower from Vengeurr as he goes on the chase. Vengeurr needs to get a kill at some point here. He is currently trailing behind. He is also going to get booped slightly as he passes his way across. k1llsen, not as elegant as he normally is there.
No. A little hiccup getting the heavy, but it's no biggie whatsoever. He's got a nice split between the major items, and his control's been excellent. It's quite difficult for him to really put a dent in the scoreline, though, and open up the taps, make it a 3 or 4-0. He really needs Vengeurr to expose himself a little bit, open up the possibilities for him to do damage. But definitely it's k1llsen who's executing better on the aim at the moment between these two titans.
k1llsen on the roam. He has a very good idea of the exact location that Vengeurr's in, and now locates him, starts to fight towards him, fires off the rockets as they're barely missing, but the rails are going to land. I thought that was actually going to be the takedown just then.
Yeah, definitely a chance. Always got to go for those rails. Vengeurr's overstepped the mark a little bit in this room, but he does find a way out briefly, but he cannot escape through the teleporter. 2-0. And again, there's not enough damage from Vengeurr. He dies just before a major item spawns, and k1llsen looks so strong. Until Vengeurr can do about 200 damage before falling, if he falls, k1llsen's going to continue this control.
This has been beautifully played so far. The movement from k1llsen has been such a difference maker, and the way he's navigated the map during the fights. Doesn't overstep his boundaries once, although Vengeurr had the drop on him there. Hits him with a sideline shot, continues to try and fight now. He wanted to get up close and actually fully commit into this. k1llsen barely holding on by a thread there.
Oh my god. That was damage that Vengeurr could not afford to take. There's a rail coming in. I think it looked like Vengeurr was trying to set up for a strafe, and he's taken so much damage, down to about 40 in total, and doesn't even want to press forward. That's just too risky for him. k1llsen's just following him through the walls, actually. He just looks ridiculous. He's on fire with his understanding of what Vengeurr's doing. That one rocket, though, the player connected, that was a possibility for Vengeurr to open the map up, but the follow-up was not executed well enough.
5 minutes already gone by now.
Did he hit that? What?
I think he did, right? He just tagged it straight through.
That's insane.
He actually wouldn't have even seen him then at all.
He shot acid and hit flesh.
Beautiful. Cool. The chase is nice. Bear in mind, there's 4 minutes 30 left as well. So they've actually incredibly started to run their way through this. The tag's coming back through with a close range. Vengeurr's so low! Oh, it's the rocket that finishes him.
So Vengeurr's done huge damage here. This is where he needs to rush towards him. k1llsen's going to know this. There's been a missed shot. He hasn't gone through for the teleporter, though, and he needs to punish on the heavy armor. He found him over at the rails. How good's his aim going to be? There's no follow-up rail shot, which could have secured him the kill. Mega health is up, but Vengeurr's disappeared in towards the pits of the light armor room. Oh, it's not there. Vengeurr is at huge risk at the moment.
Vengeurr goes down here now to the LG. Things might be getting too far out of hand and leave him in such a horrendous position. k1llsen, of course, the cheater, starting to amp up the speed as he wants to hunt him down. Near misses on the rail as Vengeurr's escaping. He now has higher stack, but k1llsen will negate that, finding some armor of his own. Fires off the warning shots, and so much time has been consumed already. We don't have that much longer left into this actual matchup. They get back into close proximity. k1llsen, of course, comes out on top.
I mean, even with mega health there, k1llsen's not that strong at the moment. Vengeurr's only got to keep ramping up the aggression. Finding that light's pretty dangerous. Vengeurr gets a good opening rocket onto him, but look how good k1llsen is rotating onto the items. This is hurting Vengeurr so much, and he's not pulling off enough damage. So eager to be aggressive, but not cutting off those roots. k1llsen's dominating on this Awoken.
He's got him so low. If he could just land a rail onto him, somehow find an opener into this, it could be another frag for k1llsen. Backs off. Again, going to get the mega that's been pretty much uncontested the entire time. It's been his mega, non-stop. Finds him. A good prediction there on the jump around with the LG railgun in hand. Hands are shaking, but he's still trying to get those rail shots off.
Vengeurr's low HP at the moment. For a Sorlag at least. Oh my god, he just knows everything. I just feel like we're seeing such a high level from k1llsen. He's got a lot of respect for Vengeurr, but he's just turned up the heat so much. It's really scary when you see k1llsen playing like this.
It's also because it's so controlled in a sense where he only goes all in when he needs to.
Yeah.
The rest of the time it's just, I have complete understanding of where I need to be, rather than pushing this unnecessary aggression and then losing out on a kill and falling behind because of it. It's been so smart. There's now basically no time left. Although it's not that big of a frag lead, it's the way that these kills have been coming in that has been the difference maker. The near miss from either side on the rails, the jump over the rockets, they're going to rocket ride their way to victory. A nice sidestep there.
What the hell was that from Vengeurr? He's so weak though on health. He finds himself another light. This is it. He's got to make success right now. Get a kill super soon. Oh my god, what was that rail shot? But he needs to remember all the timings too. Looks like he's on heavy. He's got rails again. I mean, this game's not over, but this is asking for a lot from him. So much LT damage already from him. He might push around the corner. Oh, what a shot from Vengeurr! What the hell just happened? There's mega health. He needs to get this too. He's remembering his rotations in a very chaotic part of the game. Lands a little bit of acid. k1llsen's got a better stack at the moment. We've got heavy in 2 seconds time. This is a nail-bite finish, and k1llsen is looking for every way to escape his grips.
He's getting the tags off.
I don't know how he's hitting these rail shots. This is just silly at the moment. LG! Oh my god, it's still continuing.
This could actually work out very well. The timing's perfect. He gets the Mega. He's in a good position with his stack. Both of them fairly neck and neck as the armor's also going to be scavenged. He has 30 seconds to get one single kill, and this will be the confrontation. They find each other. k1llsen, quicker on the draw, does enough damage to at least force him back. Vengeurr, if he's going to win this suit, it has to be instantly. And he's knocked down within an inch of his life. He's in a horrible predicament. This is not looking good for Vengeurr.
No, I think this might be impossible now. He went for the glory moment straight away when he needed to stack up a bit. He's going for some insane plays. He tries to knock him out of the window, but that is game, and Vengeurr will be stripped of victory on Awoken. k1llsen taking an advantage. I'll eat my words here.
Well, there you go. You said that he would never lose a game of Awoken over the QPL.
I'm used to eating my words, don't worry.
How do you feel about that one?
Yeah, pretty bad.
Yeah. But to be fair...
But what a game, though, man.
k1llsen playing it very nicely. Probably the most clinical, literally just doctor level.
So k1llsen played unbelievably good. Vengeur's like, I'm building an opportunity and I don't care what happens. He was hitting shots that no one should be hitting. It was disgusting what he was landing to get into the game. And he's like, I'm forcing it somehow, whether you like it or not. But right at the end, he chose to chase into the rail room rather than loop round to go for the heavy armor. If he went for the heavy, sure, he might have had a bit of combat versus k1llsen, but he still had the stack to fight for it at that stage. And a bit of time left where he could have come back and got the kill with 15 seconds to spare. But, you know, in the moment, Vengeurr likes to do unorthodox things. There's definitely a world out there where that plan worked, but it just wasn't this one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But, again, as a way to open up a series, a ridiculously high-octane game with some crazy impactful frags. It wasn't that many on the overall tally of kills, but the sheer weight behind them and how ridiculously finessed they were, we got a whole bucket load. Going into the second match,
here, like,
it should be crazy.
That was so quick. I don't even feel like registered what even happened there. That was so rapid. I was mightily impressed by that, if you can't tell.
What's worrying with it, though, is the fact that really both of us kind of assumed that this should actually go the way of Vengeurr, and then it will probably be the next two maps following suit for k1llsen, right?
Yeah.
This could be a 3-0.
Yeah, it really could be. I'm worried for Vengeurr. I think he really injected his own personality into towards the end of Awoken. I hope that he's able to transfer that through into Blood Run, but... I'm worried that he wasn't able to overcome the shortest hurdle. Now k1llsen just gets better and better at some of these maps. So especially Blood Run, he's really, really good at Blood Run. He has like CIS genes in him to accommodate his power on this map. So I also think that k1llsen's got better champion picks on the rest of the map. So it's backs up against the wall for Vengeurr possibly, but I'm sure he's not thinking about it that way. I think he's just got his eye on the prize, and he's speaking to players. I've never heard someone so determined as well to get success and get victories and get up first place at LAN. So he's going to be gritting his teeth at this one, getting focused.
I'd imagine so. He seems like the player that has so much determination inside and outside of the game in the way that he wants to approach things. So
hugely so. Hugely so.
Hopefully that might give him an edge. We're back into it now, though. And k1llsen, he's got the k1llena pick, and we know the level of k1llena this man can display. So this could be outrageous.
Yeah, I think we're still going to get a sort of meticulous game from him. Again, he's pretty surgical with how he operates on this map. There's one totem down. He heard sound cues just then. He drops maybe at an inopportune moment, but still hitting a rail shot. Oh god, that lightning gun was scary for a brief moment. Healing through the wall. Now that totem's gone already. I like that. You know I like that, Jackie.
Yeah,
that
that's
pleases
good.
me. everywhere.
You got to kill those totems. You can't let them survive. That's been the one thing that you've stressed every time. And sometimes we don't see it.
Yeah.
And that overstack comes into play. It's too far at that point. It's just outrageous. You can't deal with it.
And there's a very standard spot for putting the totem, so I'm sure Vengeurr, he might not check it straight away, but after a couple of minutes I'd expect him to take a quick look. Again, they're sort of fending each other off. k1llsen knows he's slightly outstacked at the moment. He's happy to... Oh, he actually checked straight away. He just got the tribal out, hit it around the corner. Lovely work from Vengeurr, still with a stack advantage. Has slightly better positioning on the map, but these exchanges on the damage, suddenly k1llsen finds himself ahead.
The problem is with k1llsen's rails is you expose any part of your body, a toe, a small bit of arm hair, he's going to be able to land the rail on it and start to knock your stack off in seconds. He can also do the same with the rockets though, as Vengeurr, moments away from death, will be sent to an early grave in this one as the first frag comes in, 1 minute and 49 seconds as k1llsen will open it up.
I think he waited a second before going to a teleporter to force the spawn somewhere. I'm curious about that actually. I almost want to look back. 'Cause
2 minutes into this one, is k1llsen looking to get another kill on the board. It's a good tag from the rail. Now starts to get himself back up into the air.
Oof. A lot of items going the way of k1llsen. But it's been a calculated risk. He knows what the possible output is from Vengeurr, given the weapons that he's been using. And at the moment, it's certainly been worth it for him. 150, 100. I still think these rotations are quite difficult. Vengeurr's still in a position where he can fight a bit, and he looks like he's got himself the lightning gun if he didn't have it before. Whoa, there's a very strange drop down from k1llsen, and his stack just totally melts there. It's like he just froze for a second because he saw Vengeurr, and unexpectedly, what a combo from Vengeurr. Never mind what I was saying, man. These rockets, the rails that we're getting from him, I mean, he's converting this ludicrous aim that we were seeing at the end of Awoken into Blood Run. Some mechanical skills on this kid is just something else.
The upwards LG trying to get the connection off, but he can't quite find the frag. Response with the tri-bolt, peppering around him. It's denying the pushback into the Mega, and he's actually quite low now. This is getting awkward to k1llsen, but on the escape, picks up the Mega, tries to run away. The dire orb for the distance to be made up by Vengeurr, when he has to back off.
He's so fast, man. He's so fast in how he's doing all of that. Again, totems down. Happy face for Zoo.
Vengeurr lurking here as he just waits on the corner. It's a trap that has been set, and k1llsen will spring it as he walks in. Tries to hold on the close angle as he extends back out with the LG. They both decide to fully commit. The streams are going to be crossed. It's like a Ghostbusters movie.
Such careful positioning moving onto the heavy armor as well. So close for it to kind of go wrong for k1llsen, and likewise for Vengeurr. k1llsen might want to deny that light armor up at the top. Can't quite tell if he did that. The light's not here, so I'm going to assume so. Vengeurr's in a very scary position at the moment.
Vengeurr. 5 rails, 4 rockets, and 1 dream into this matchup at the minute. Coming up on the 5-minute mark as he fires the fadeaway rocket. It will actually tag k1llsen and give him at least a bit of information to what's going on here.
Oh, I think he took totem damage on the exit then. But he's managed to find himself another light, so getting up to a sort of respectable stack where if he opens up the damage, he could see himself not too far from being equal.
That's a connection at least to try and take out some of the damage that k1llsen has been building up there with the protection he has off the back of his stack.
If he didn't hear the heavy, then in terms of k1llsen attacking from that angle on Mega, he knows the timing now.
It's a good read off the audio cue, but unfortunately, on the twists and turns, k1llsen avoids the first, but gets hit by the follow-up rocket. So a good read from Vengeurr. Tri-bolt does a ton of damage, actually. He's just going to be peppered by this. Barely leaves him alive. He's taken so much just brute force, and this really puts him into a bit of a pickle now.
It's quite... It's quite difficult to come back in this map as k1llsen because of your limited mobility. The thing you got to set up is traps on teleporters with your totems. But for Vengeurr, it's very important basically that he stays above 150. And he is far below that at the moment. He needs to edge away, and there's totems going up all over the map at the moment. This is really scary being, because there could be a totem at the teleporter. He hears that heavy's taken. But we've got at least 2 totems up at the moment. He sees a Mega. He's going to go for it. He tries to go in with the orb damage too. k1llsen kills himself. The burst DPS from the orb play. Well, k1llsen's got himself 3 totems. But Vengeurr, he's kept the lead and he equalizes things in terms of weapon control.
This is a good spot to be in now. He's still going to have a good advantage to play with. He can definitely really add to this. k1llsen firing down, knows he's below him. He's actually quite lucky to get away from this as he barely clutches onto this mortal plane. 7 minutes now achieved as well. Firing out those warning shots from the nail gun, goes around the corner as he's swinging with a machine gun, going to get that connection across, drops another totem for good measure as well. The rail's been scavenged, which now gives him a whole nother level of pain to play with.
Oh god, this is really bad for him. He just ran into 2 totems, I think. That's 100 damage. He got hit by the 60 on the first because they has a triple stack. And then the standard 40. Oh, it was a little bit high nail jump, but k1llsen's wormed his way back into control thanks to some very good totem positions. Game is interesting with 2.5 minutes to go. Because Vengeurr, he's fighting for control, but I do think that k1llsen should be having the map. The problem is we've been seeing, though, k1llsen struggling to chase Vengeurr. Because Vengeurr's got superior mobility, and the one time he had a shot, the orb combo worked out flawlessly for the Italian.
k1llsen goes for the play towards the armor at this point. 8 minutes now. As there really isn't too much time. There is a 1 frag difference between them, and k1llsen is on the hunt, living up to his name like the cheater as he starts to move fast, roaming around, looking to find his weakened opponent. Lower stack on Vengeurr. k1llsen, as he actually should be coming around the corner close, knows it off the back of the information play, has a good suspicion of what exactly Vengeurr is up to here. He's armed to the teeth as well with every bit of firepower he could possibly want, listening out for the audio cues.
Is Vengeurr going to go for heavy?
Oh, the tag is big.
He managed to actually get some net positive from the armor briefly before walking into more totems. He's not been able to kill the totems because it's just he's not been in a position where he can prioritize that. He's got to put every ounce of resources or mental resources possible into just listening out for k1llsen and avoiding and maintaining positions where he's always got an escape route. And there's just 1 minute and 10 seconds left, so I think k1llsen's going to struggle with this, but he's got to force a mistake out from Vengeurr. This isn't a normal game style that you see from Vengeurr. He's normally far more eccentric in his play style, but he's giving us a very disciplined duel on Blood Run.
It's the final minute now. Final 50 seconds even as this one is going to be tight. Vengeurr adds to its lead. If there was any chance of k1llsen opening it back up there and equalizing it, making it be potentially a sudden death, that's now gone right out the window. The chance of him getting 2 frags back to back and being able to tie this up is so ridiculously small. Surely this is Vengeurr's moment to shine and to come back in strong in this series. 30 seconds left. He's just playing the escape game and trying to run away whilst k1llsen is chasing hard as can be. Goes down another time as Vengeurr will send him to the Netherrealm. GG is called, and Vengeurr will take the map.
Yeah, the reason k1llsen pushed in with 40 seconds to go onto the heavy armor is just because he knew he had to do something. There was no time to kind of set up meticulous control over again. He had to take the 1% risk, and that's why the fight looks so dominant. But he's got so little chance of actually winning there. I'm almost proud of Vengeurr in terms of how well he played that defensive game. It's not difficult to do, firstly, but I think it's also not it's not easy to do, firstly, but it's not easy for him as well because it kind of counteracts his playstyle, his normal playstyle so much. But he clearly has a very good understanding of Blood Run, and maybe in this case, although k1llsen I think is a stronger champion, when you're going versus someone who's high mobility, and you've got a comeback to make, that is one of the standard pieces of evidence to show where that's where the champion's picks which can normally be favorable can sometimes be disadvantageous.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's a bit of a turn up for the books there in terms of the statistics, but it was a huge
fight
game
that was huge,
overall from Vengeurr.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. That fight they had down in the Mega hallway where Vengeurr got caught out for a second, the fact he was able to make it a mutual frag is just, yeah, a really, really clutch moment in the game, because I think he had a very fair chance of losing the game then.
Yeah, well, this is actually quite crazy as well. Obviously, you know, we sort of said that these two maps were the picks we had there for k1llsen, were the ones that we thought more so would be his sort of room to just run away and just take it, right? Instead, now we're tied up. We're one apiece, meaning that going into the third map, this is a big man decider now.
Yeah, it is. I believe we are, I want to say k1llsen versus Visor. And yeah, I get the tick of approval there. But k1llsen is such a strong champion at the moment, especially the way that it's been wielded by so many of the players in the QPL, that it takes something special to be able to knock him off his perch. So I'm definitely again worried for Vengeurr, but he's showing us some brilliant Quake at the moment. He's showing us every single aspect that you can really deliver at the moment, from the most crazy rails, setting up just fights that shouldn't work, to some very hardcore defensive plays. It shows a very wide skill set.
Yeah, it's one of those where it looks like, in terms of diversity as a player, he's been expanding everything quite a lot. The playstyle, obviously, we saw it before when he tried to utilize that very slower control style, and it didn't look like how he normally plays, where he's quite flashy, he's quite sort of arrogant in the way he'll take firefights, right? He was trying to play it very systematically. It didn't quite work, whereas now we're seeing it again here, way more polished. Yeah. Everything about it looks so much better. You can see the nuances of when he tried it last time versus how much better it looked here, because it's almost as if he's taken that time to assess himself as a player and go, okay, well, these are all my strengths, these are the weaknesses, let's try and improve those. And he absolutely has. But we're here, third and final map between these two, the decider for k1llsen and Vengeurr.
Yeah, let's do this. It's Corrupted Keep, fairly small map, and holy crap, already Vengeurr managing to land a decent direct. k1llsen's very wary and avoids further contact briefly.
So, k1llsen looking to just hammer down and riddle his opponent with bullets here from the machine gun, which he will pepper spray him up with and leave him fairly low. Turret goes down as well to block off that bridge if he does go through the portal, leaving k1llsen with a window to roam around, grab the Mega, and start to pick up some firepower.
Yeah, a lot of contest at the moment on control. Sometimes you just got to wait for the rotations to play out. Vengeurr might have armor, but health slightly weak. And k1llsen seeing, hey, can I get this heavy? Looks like I can, but I mean, the only expense was having to hit that ridiculous HMG. Wow, these rockets. Vengeurr's very weak at the moment. Is he going to be able to find a way out? And Rocket almost buying his ticket to safety. He'll get a light armor. I don't really think he wants to fight that much at the moment, but he's really pushing the boundaries again in terms of how close he can get to k1llsen with a slightly dominant stack. Major items coming back up. That'll be a heavy. A rocket through. That's probably going to be Mega as well now for him. I like that. He's still baiting out the Mega and making Vengeurr think that he's going for it, whereas he's just looking for damage. Mega's still there. Oh my god. And Vengeurr still manages to find a direct rocket, the LG into the air, that's gonna take him down completely. What an angle from Vengeurr.
He's just been sent flying. That was absolute lunacy. And it doesn't stop there either. They're straight back into it. The chaos continues. At this point, off the back of the piercing sight, he has a good read into where exactly k1llsen is. Repositions off the back of this information. He does have the rockets. He's going to try and give us a 101 how to use them, but k1llsen is the teacher.
Oh, that was savagery, man. That LG angle, sorry to go on it again, that's a very difficult angle to hit. When you've usually got to turn around and still maintain that verticality, but again, props to k1llsen with some perfect rockets flying into the Mega Room.
k1llsen straight back in, the LG up close and personal, the rockets as well, spamming down, trying to blow his feet clean off and make it cheaper for him to buy shoes. He starts to back out though. k1llsen, once again, trying to aggress when he's so low on HP, but makes it work on the escape.
I love how much respect k1llsen's giving to the shotgun though. He's not willing to take risks with it. But Vengeurr's trying to force some situations at the moment. With that favorable stack, he's almost able to do that. Gets a bit distracted briefly, and some very good damage from k1llsen. Kind of equalizes it a bit, and might even buy him the heavy armor. k1llsen's made an amazing job of being able to secure some kind of control on the map. And he's actually got better control than Vengeurr does. Vengeurr's got to watch out, because I think he's going to lose a frag in a second.
Warning rockets,
What? How does he... If it doesn't hit that rocket, he dies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Duck.
Yeah, that was a nice little crouch under it. Turret's going to come back through. It's a big tank to the face as well as the rocket's going to land. And the point-blank shot into the bottom there as Vengeurr is blown to bits. k1llsen looking to try and carry this one on straight in with the LG, at least now starting to back off and actually give himself some distance to work with. Although that all changes in an instant, fighting towards the Mega as he knows it's up soon. He wants to deny it and actually gain the control.
It's a brilliant chase that we've been getting from k1llsen to secure this frag and also to maintain pressure onto Vengeurr. The turret's in a decent position. These rockets again from Vengeurr. It's not quite equalizing the stacks, but somehow he's retaining some life. Just holding that position for a oh my god, the double peek. And Vengeurr, oh, he's down 3-1. He has got some rockets, so I wonder if he's got a play to make on this. He forces k1llsen out of this. He's going to be able to get himself the lightning gun soon. Turret's in a interesting spot. But Vengeurr's actually got some control now all of a sudden, and weapons. There's going to be another twist in this tale, I feel like.
This could potentially be. Oh, the contact is found. The HMG going to be spammed down upon the rocket from k1llsen as well, whizzing by as we hit the halfway point. Vengeurr, he has a much stronger stack, but does he have the skill going into this fight to be able to overthrow? Jump straight through the portal, contact is found, they're both in close range here in this arena of death. The rocket coming out from k1llsen, wanting to predict potentially a side push there from Vengeurr, but he doesn't go for it. He repositions around, heading over towards the rocket, comes in with a back jump, but it's not going to work. Knocks him straight out of there, as they're left in a bit of a stalemate in this one.
Oh my god, he managed to find him again on the jump up. Vengeurr not quite going to chase. There are major items coming up, but finds him going up the bounce pad. And now Vengeurr, he wants to deny the heavy. That means that the Mega will probably go over to k1llsen, but he's got a big, big stack, and k1llsen cannot keep just jumping over that statue so willy-nilly. Because he's cost his life twice there.
Oh, gets behind him with the LG. Zaps into him.
Oh, he's got no more rockets left. Oh no, not worth it, not worth it! He's thought too hard about denying the armor. And now he's just got to take it for himself.
This is awful. He has one rocket, 30 LG, 10 LG left. As he's doing damage, sure, but he doesn't really have much firepower to play with. Has to use the shotgun as some kind of a delay tactic. It takes so much to kill the turret. Luckily, the Mega was up, and it puts him back in the game. He's actually close to getting the frag kill. Fully commits with a replenish LG, and he will tie it up 3-3.
There's no waste when it comes to Vengeurr. He's using everything that he possibly has to get the kill. Until there's no ammo left in any weapon. Very good efficiency. Needs to be careful of those rockets, and he needs to get out of there, actually. He might even be able to secure the kill all of a sudden. Just been granted a small opportunity, and he'll take it with both hands as he now puts himself into the lead.
There you go. Straight all in here. He does have the healthier stack to play with and does do a nice amount of damage. Pops the piercing sight as well to have a good understanding of where he is. Goes all in with the pre-fire, but it's not actually going to connect on the drive-by. Has the high ground. Fires off one warning rocket.
Remember, this game will possibly determine who goes #1 on EU-CIS regional boards. We're playing for the 4 points. Big split on items still, but k1llsen lacking that armor. Needs some extra absorption.
Vengeurr taking it very slow. He realizes that time's fairly far gone and that he does have the advantage right now. Good use of the piercing sight as well. Tagging him up so much. He's getting consistent shots across. Leaving k1llsen covered in holes. That was a smooth transition, actually, with the LG. Very nicely done. That actually could be the kill that he needed, as he was so graceful in the movement, traced him flawlessly the entire time. Finally gets another one. Now has an even bigger lead. 5-3 to play with, but k1llsen, he doesn't want to slow down, keeps the pedal to the metal as he comes back in with another fight.
Vengeurr is spending so much LG damage somehow on these tight angles where you don't have much time to be able to react to this stuff. Oh my god.
Wow, that could have been a double.
But he's leaving the heavy alone completely, which worries me a bit. Found some damage straight after, so it's not as if k1llsen's above his natural stack. But a minute and a half to play with, and I feel that Vengeurr's just given the signal that he's willing to go a tiny bit passive.
We've conceded that Mega, which is going to be very useful for k1llsen actually in the following fights. Technically, if he gets another kill soon, before we just get over that 9-minute mark, you've got a full 60 seconds to get one frag to tie it up. That's entirely possible. He's going to get the protection off. He has the information now from the turret doing damage, and here he goes. Bombards his way over, starts gliding in, using all that speed he's built up. Vengeurr, quite low. Only 100 HP and free armor in his overall stock. All of the armor pickups being denied as well, as k1llsen is scavenging them all for himself, but time is ticking away. He needs a kill, and he needs it soon.
How the hell is Vengeurr staying alive at the moment? He's going overtime at the moment in terms of just his defensive twitches. There's a nasty rocket to take. He's going to break away again, doesn't take any HMG damage. But he's just spotted. This is another difficult one to get out, but he's going to sneak underneath. Can he get away though? Rocket jump with 3 HP to go, and he's somehow still alive, killing those seconds away. There's a turret in the way of him, but he still manages to bend time and get around the corners. 20 seconds, it's all about survival. If he goes down in the next 5, then there's still a game on our hands. Oh my god, up the bounce pad? 2 more seconds and he can afford to respawn. That's going to be game. k1llsen kills himself, and oh my god, those chases in the last moments of Corrupted Keep.
That's ridiculous. The way it goes, though, with Vengeurr taking the win, he does take the series 2-1, which is outrageous when you think about it. The complete opposite of what we spoke about there.
And he lost Awoken. I don't get it. Like, what's going on over here? Because k1llsen was looking unbelievable on Awoken, right? Like the first 7 or so minutes, Vengeurr had a small kind of show dedicated to him for a minute or two, sure. But k1llsen was the one who played pretty much a perfect game, I'd say. And then Vengeurr just showed us these different levels of play that he's got over on the following maps. What an interesting series. What a high-level series I feel like we just saw.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Absolute bliss there across the board. That final map as well. So close to it with a knife's edge for either side the entire time, where it looked like there was the comeback storyline. You never really quite knew if it was going to be Vengeurr actually locking it down. But he does, which is huge, because the way that could affect the standings overall actually could have so much impact.
Yeah, still my heart's pounding at the end of that. With those chases, the rocket jump with, what, 2 or 3 health left? That's not easy to do and to keep up high accuracies at the same time. Loved this kill from k1llsen, because before that he was having to do the most complicated chases ever. As you can tell, it's not easy to catch up with Vengeurr. He's got great movement as a VQ3 champs. But k1llsen was also having to be creative himself and come up with some good solutions to picking him off.
Wild stuff there the entire time. Just really neck and neck level play from either of them. You can see that high skill ceiling on full display.
I think it was just a determination from Vengeurr, because he had to make quite a comeback to level it up to 3-3, and he was able to force the situations that k1llsen wasn't quite able to. I know that Visor's a little faster now, and God, I wondered if a previous match maybe it would be slightly different, but it's not that big of a difference, and somehow Vengeurr seems kind of a step ahead movement-wise with k1llsen. I think that's like the only criticism I can ever give k1llsen at the moment.
Yeah, but that is ridiculous. In the grand scheme of things, being able to actually take a 2-1 off k1llsen right now, when in reality his form looks absolutely crazy, right?
So I think that means that Vengeurr is 5-0 in Season 1, because he's obviously we're week 6.
Yeah.
He's had obviously a bye week, and he's still got 1 more bye week to go, which I think is still a week away, or so, at least a week away or so. So he's the only person in EU CIS still. When he was 4, he was the only person to be only having winning its matches, and now he's 5-0, and possibly Rafa will be 5-0 at the end of today, because he's playing versus Dahang later on. There's more from the Americas coming up soon. And we've got the EU